Welcome to Hollywood Secrets Information. In this video, we are going to explore 10 British exploitation films from the 1970s that shocked the entire nation. Today, many people think modern movies are too bold and controversial, but the truth is the 1970s were even more shocking. Back then, filmmakers were breaking rules and showing things that audiences were not ready to see. Many of these films were banned, heavily censored, or strongly criticized. Some viewers walked out of cinemas, while others could not stop talking about them. These movies were not just entertainment. They were powerful, disturbing, and unforgettable. So now, let's go back to that dark and daring era of cinema. 10. Prey, 1977. Prey is a strange and disturbing film that mixes science fiction with human emotions in a very unusual way. The story follows an alien creature who comes to Earth and takes the form of a man. Instead of attacking people in a typical way, he quietly enters the lives of two women living alone in the countryside. At first, everything feels calm and normal. But slowly the alien begins to study human behavior, especially love, attraction, and desire. As he tries to understand these feelings, the situation becomes uncomfortable and tense. What shocked audiences at the time was how the film combined alien horror with strong emotional and sexual themes, something that was very bold in the 1970s. The film feels quiet but very unsettling, and its strange story made viewers confused and disturbed. Even though it had a small budget, Prey later became a cult classic because of its unique and daring approach. 9. Virgin Witch, 1972. Virgin Witch is one of the most controversial British films of the early 1970s, known for its mix of horror and adult themes. The story is about two sisters who travel to London with dreams of becoming successful models. But soon they discover that the modeling agency they joined is hiding a dark secret. It is actually connected to a mysterious witchcraft cult. As the story moves forward, the film shows strange rituals, supernatural elements, and a lot of bold scenes that were very shocking for audiences at that time. The strong use of nudity and sexual content made the film highly controversial, especially in a period when censorship rules were very strict. Critics did not appreciate it much, but audiences were curious, and this curiosity made the film popular in underground cinemas. Today, Virgin, which is remembered as a classic example of 70s exploitation cinema that pushed limits and challenged social norms. 8. Death Line, 1972. Death Line, also known as Raw Meat, is a dark and terrifying horror film set in the London Underground. The story reveals a horrifying secret hidden beneath the busy city, where a group of forgotten people have lived for years without contact with the outside world. Over time, they have turned into cannibals, surviving by attacking anyone who comes near their hidden tunnels. The film shocked audiences because of its realistic and dirty setting, which made everything feel very real and possible. The idea that something so dangerous could exist under a normal city created a deep sense of fear. It was not just a horror film, but also a reflection of society and how people can be forgotten and ignored. The disturbing scenes and dark atmosphere made it controversial, but it was also praised for its originality and powerful storytelling. 7. Killer's Moon, 1978. Killer's Moon is a psychological horror film that feels like a nightmare that you cannot escape. The story follows a group of young students who stop at a quiet hotel during their trip, hoping to rest and enjoy their time. However, nearby, a group of dangerous mental patients escape from a hospital and soon the peaceful situation turns into terror. What makes this film different is its strange and dreamlike style, where it becomes hard to tell what is real and what is not. The violence in the film is shocking, especially because it targets young and innocent characters, which made audiences very uncomfortable. The film creates fear not only through violence, but also through confusion and unpredictability. Even today, Killer's Moon is remembered for its unique style and disturbing tone. 6. House of Whipcord, 1974. House of Whipcord is one of the most disturbing and controversial British films of the 1970s. The story follows a young woman who is tricked and kidnapped, then taken to a secret prison run by people who believe they are punishing women for immoral behavior. Inside this hidden place, women are treated harshly and forced to follow strict rules, with severe punishments for even small mistakes. What shocked audiences the most was the idea of such cruelty being justified in the name of morality and discipline. The film showed how power can be misused and how dangerous extreme beliefs can become. Many viewers found the film uncomfortable and disturbing, but also made people think about justice and human rights. Over time, it became one of the most well-known exploitation films in British cinema. 5. Frightmare, 1974. Frightmare is a deeply disturbing horror film that explores the dark side of human nature within a family setting. The story focuses on an older woman who was once placed in a mental institution because of her violent and horrifying behavior. After being released, she tries to live a normal life with her family, but her dangerous urges slowly return. What makes this film so shocking is how it mixes normal, everyday life with extreme horror, showing that danger can exist even in the most familiar places. The violence in the film is intense, but the real fear comes from the psychological tension and the idea that some people cannot escape their dark past. The film was controversial because of its graphic scenes, but it is now seen as a powerful and chilling example of British horror. 4. Expose, 1976. Expose is a slow but intense psychological thriller that focuses on obsession, control, and emotional tension. The story follows a writer who moves to a quiet and isolated place to work on his book, hoping to find peace and inspiration. However, his life changes when he meets a mysterious woman, and their relationship quickly becomes complicated and dangerous. As their connection grows, it turns into a mix of attraction, manipulation, and fear. The film includes strong adult themes, which led to censorship issues in some countries. What makes Expose memorable is its dark mood and focus on human psychology, showing how loneliness and desire can affect the mind. It is not a fast-paced film, but it leaves a lasting impression because of its emotional intensity. 3. Straw Dogs, 1971. Straw Dogs, directed by Sam Peckinpah and starring Dustin Hoffman, is one of the most controversial films ever made. The story follows a quiet and intelligent man who moves to the English countryside with his wife, hoping for a peaceful life. However, their new environment slowly becomes hostile, and tensions with the local people begin to grow. As the situation becomes more dangerous, the man is forced to defend himself in ways he never expected. The film shocked audiences with its intense violence and one very disturbing scene that caused major debate. People argued about its meaning and whether it should even be shown. Despite the controversy, the film is now considered a powerful exploration of human nature, fear, and survival. 2. Scum, 1979. Scum, directed by Alan Clark and starring Ray Winstone, is a raw and realistic film about life inside a juvenile detention center in Britain. The film shows a harsh and violent environment where young boys must fight to survive. There is no comfort, no safety, and very little hope. The story focuses on power, fear, and survival in a system that seems broken. What made the film so shocking was its honesty and refusal to hide the truth. Because of its graphic content, it was originally banned from television. However, when it was later released as a film, it gained strong attention and respect. Today, Scum is considered one of the most important and realistic British films ever made. 1. The Devils, 1971. The Devils, directed by Ken Russell and starring Oliver Reed, is one of the most controversial films in cinema history. The film tells a historical story about a priest who becomes the target of political and religious accusations. However, the way the story is presented is extremely bold and shocking. The film includes strong religious imagery, intense emotional scenes, and controversial content that made audiences uncomfortable. Because of this, it was banned and censored in many countries. Even today, it is difficult to find the full version of the film. Some people see it as a masterpiece, while others believe it goes too far. But there is no doubt that The Devils left a lasting impact on cinema and continues to be discussed even now. And there you have it. 10 British exploitation films from the 1970s that shocked the nation and changed cinema forever. These films were bold, risky, and unforgettable. They pushed boundaries and forced audiences to face uncomfortable truths. Some were banned, some were criticized, but all of them became part of film history. Now tell me, which of these films surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Hollywood Secrets Information for more amazing content. Until next time, keep exploring the secrets of Hollywood.